another amazing day at fmtraining.tv. I'm here with the marvelous Nick Hunter. I would show you my video, but my video USB cord promptly got crunched. I accidentally rolled over with my chair trying to plug it in and plug it back out. So you don't get to see my face today. I'm very sorry. You did get a look at the lovely Discord conversation happening, though. Seriously, hello everyone, welcome. A quick reminder, we stream on 3 platforms. We stream on YouTube, we stream on Discord, and we stream on Twitch. I watch the conversations on all of those platforms. I've got another huge computer screen dedicated to watching all of your guys' conversations. Please talk to us, please interact, please ask questions. We love hearing from you guys, we love talking to you guys. Part of the reason we're here is to improve the FileMaker community. Well, improve is a bit of a strong word. Make it more interconnected, learn more, talk together, hang out. We're here to do that. What is our schedule for this week? We have a schedule, you guys. It's great. FMtraining.tv schedule. So Monday and Tuesday are let functions in FileMaker with Nick, which is what we're doing today, the wonderful Nick Hunter. The wonderful Nick Hunter is also doing Wednesday and Thursday. Horizontal reporting and pivot tables. So that's a continuation of our Thursday live stream of last week. We're going to finish it off, 3-day series on this sort of subject. We got a lot of advanced Nick stuff. Friday isn't on here because there's a brief adjustment, but actually Hansa Kuldeka from 24U is coming by to discuss FM Restore, which is a web integration with FileMaker, and also he's discussing a really cool little PHP script that he put in, where if you put it in your website, it automatically redirects your traffic to a neutral news source if you have a Russian IP address. That'll be an interesting conversation. So we'll be doing that Friday. It's not currently on here. You'll see it more clearly tomorrow. I did initially title it something spicy, but I've been told to change the title of it, so that'll be fun. Real quick, if you'd like to support the channel, please buy our Complete Learning FileMaker bundle or the Learning FileMaker Video Only Training bundle. It's 100 plus hours of video content. One comes with FileMaker, one doesn't. If you're like, well, I actually have all these questions about all these other different topics, and you guys aren't going to be talking about it over like the next live stream schedule, like, well, feel free to do this. It helps support the channel. It helps keep the lights on in our recording studios. And also, you get a crap ton of really educational content about FileMaker for it. So it's a win-win-win for everyone, as far as I'm concerned. And with that said, Nick, where are we starting today?
Okay, so I won't put my video because I tried to put my video and it doesn't work.
Oh.
There
we go.
No. Okay.
Being temperamental.
Yes. So yeah, okay. Today we're going to start slowly, okay? Because we are going to talk about a big piece. Okay, we're going to talk about the let function. Okay, the let function. So it's a function that if you don't use it, there's no way that you can go from lower intermediate level to the upper intermediate and up. You cannot. It's if you're not using let, you'll be like a super beginner, but you're not a developer. You are in the beginner code side, okay? Because this is the function that will give you the ability to create, elaborate, and complex calculation, and it will let you build stuff that you wouldn't have done without this function. It's there's many things where it's impossible without doing mega super duper complex things if you're not using the let function. So we are going to do slowly because the let function is complicated to understand. If you go, so a little bit of history on this, okay? It's the first function that FileMaker introduced in the program with when they switched to flat file and A to B relationship kind of for FileMaker Pro 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then they start with FileMaker Pro 7.0. they introduce all those function that we are using today. Like they introduced many of the get function. Okay, they introduced this notion of get something. Okay, it's 7.0 where they changed a function that we were using before that name was today. We had a function that was called today, and that was a horrible function, by the way. And they changed to get current date. Okay, so FileMaker 7.0, they changed all of this, and they create this let function. And I'm going to explain slowly how this let function works. Okay, in the same time, we are going to learn how to understand how FileMaker is talking about the syntax format, the syntax, okay, of the function, and I'm going to show you that in the help. So, yeah, so let's share my screen right quick. Okay, so let me show this is off. Yes. Okay, so this is the help, FileMaker help for the let function. Okay, so as I said, introduced in 7.0. Okay, and so if you understand, if you read what they said, okay, there's no way you can understand. Okay, those are kind of help side of FileMaker where nobody at FileMaker wants to go there and rewrite this. Okay, so the wording doesn't make any sense, and I mean, for most of us, and but we are going to, I'm going to explain that in detail. Okay, so let's close the help right now, and let's go there, right, and play a little bit with the let statement, the let function. So first of all, the let function, it's a function. Okay, it's a function like get current date. This is the same thing, or I don't know, you know, it's a function. It's there. You know, it's a function. Is there. Okay. So when we use the function here, this is what FileMaker give you as an indication. Okay, give you that everything that is between, how you name that? I forgot the name. Marge, help me. I have the name on my tongue, and Marge.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to remember the name for
This
oh, the curly bracket?
curly bracket. Okay. Okay. Curly bracket. Okay. So every time you have the curly bracket on all function, you know, while has some curly brackets. No, while no. Substitutes has no. Which has, okay, when you have curly bracket, I don't remember which one has a curly bracket, but when you have curly bracket like this, or if, no, if, yeah, if. That means it's, you know, curly bracket. Case, I think has curly brackets, right? When you have a curly bracket, that means it's optional. That's it, okay? So this optional means optional. You don't have to put it. It's not mandatory, okay? So this can be removed from the calculation, right? So let's explain how the let statement works. First of all, let's put that on the side here. So you have let, but I personally don't like the horizontal formatting. So I'm making a vertical formatting. So you have three identified block, two identified block, one here and one here. Okay, you have this one, right? Is one block, is one side of the function, and this is the second one. So you have there, right, and then you have another one here, separated with the separation. the formula, the syntax separation into calculation in FileMaker is a semicolon. Okay, on all of them, you have the same on if it's semicolon. You have always is semicolon. Semicolon is the syntax separation into a function. Okay, in the calculation always. So you have two big in the let statement. You have one block here and one block here. So you have the calculation. Okay. And what we call the statements. Okay. So statements. Okay. So I don't know if that's a statement. Okay. So don't forget that the terminology used here is coming from the dark age of FileMaker, right? 7.0 is like 25 years. So we don't call that today we call that statements. Okay. So it's a let statement, and I will explain why. Okay. And I'd like you to understand to learn it as a statement. Okay. So you have the statements of the function here and the calculation of the function. So you have two big zones. What this means, okay, it means that you can have multiple statements. You can have as many as you want statements. But if you have more than one statement, you need the brackets. Right? You need to do this. If you have statement one, and if you have statements, if you have statement one and statement two, right? Then you need brackets. You need this. And this here, right? So you don't have a separation. You have a separation between the statement one and statement two. If you have more than one, if you have one, you can just do this. Okay? But if you have more than one, you need to put all the statements between brackets. Right? So far, so good. So now, so now you understand what that means, right? The brackets. You know that in FileMaker, the curly brackets mean optional. So that means this is optional and this is optional. And you have only if you have more than one, you have brackets. Okay. So I can get rid of this, or I can just put it there, like this. So now, let's play a little bit. So do we have any questions so far?
Nope.
No. Okay. So here, what are you doing? You're doing what a statement. I have to explain what a statement. A statement is something like this. Okay. Today equal get current date. Okay. Tomorrow equal. What is tomorrow? Right? It's the get current date. Okay. Plus 1. Okay. So today equal get current date. Tomorrow is get current date plus 1. Next week, what next week? It's today plus 7, right? So here, what am I doing here? I'm declaring statements. I'm saying today equal this, tomorrow equal this plus 1, and next week equal today plus 7. Or I could have said this, but let's say this first, okay? Plus 7. Now, I have established simple statements, okay? I have simple statements. And what can I do now? I can just call, right, statements in my calculation. So let's say I'm calling the statement here, this one, this one. I'm calling today. What today? Yeah, it's we are on March 21. March 21, 2022 is right, is correct. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow it's March 22nd, is 21 plus. Okay. And what's next week? Next week is 21st plus 1, and I could have said so on next year. Okay, what is next year? I can just say is this plus 365, that next year, okay, to 2023. Okay, so I'm putting like in the statements, I can put I can in the statement zone here, in the area here, I put all the statement I need. Okay, all the statement I need. But I can interact with those statements. Okay, so here I could have said this. I could have said this. I could have said this. But you don't see, well, imagine that you have a calculation and instead of seeing this, you see this. Isn't it more understandable than this? This is simpler, Okay, so now, let's say I have a field here. I have two fields. Name, okay? I have first name and last name, right? Okay. So now, I could have said here, name, first name equal. So let's say this. First name equal this. And last name equal this. So now you see I can call fields into this. I can call fields into the statements. So here you see I can call functions. I can call fields, right? And see, it works. I can say this, right? Oh, I have nothing in first name. Okay, first of all, let me get rid of this ugly, disgusting Apex piece of blip. And put something human. Okay. No, I don't understand who did that, but it's okay. So I have Nick Hunter, okay, and I have March. Okay, so I have two. Okay, so when I go there, now I call for my first name, it's Nick, and if I call for the last name, right, it's Hunter. So now I can call for last name. I can say first name and last name. So I can call in my calculation, this is the results, okay? They should have called that result, by the way, but, or calculate, yeah, I don't know, it's up to them. Anyway, it's calculation slash results, okay? So this is a calculation. And you see, I can call multiple. Okay? I could say something like this if I want, right? Space bracket, and I can say tomorrow, okay? For example, I can do something like this. Oops. Right? So you see, thanks to my, thanks to my let statement, right? I can, all the statement here, I can cherry pick the one I want, right? But, and call them here. Instead of calling this, right? Instead of saying this and this and this, now you start to understand why it's better, the let statement, start to be a little bit more complicated to read. A little bit more complicated. And I'm doing absolutely nothing. This is simpler to read. First name, last name, tomorrow. Then you understand immediately, you have a better view. It makes things less complicated, right? So now, to read. So do we have any questions so far? I think so.
There was,
in the statement. Yeah, okay. So yeah, it's a okay. So let me explain. We have tradition more than rules. I don't like to call that rules because it's not. With FileMaker, we have no rules. We have tradition, and we have, uses, practices. Okay. We have the practice into a name. Okay, that's a name, FileMaker naming convention, and that's good because I worked. When I was a FileMaker, I worked like 3 years with Susan Hernandez. She was my manager. I was reporting to her, and she's the head of documentary. It's at FileMaker is all the people doing the help and all the documents and all the the things talking about FileMaker, the documents, So I was reporting to her at one point because I rewrote all the scripts. If you go to the help, all the scripts help description, I rewrote them completely. The scripts, not the function. But I'm aware about the FileMaker tradition. And here we have a good example. Okay. The name of a function or a custom function, okay? The name of a function or custom function, that means you can create your own. We call that the proper case. What the proper case? Okay. Proper case is this. This, capital, this is my custom name. This is a proper case. You don't have spaces, and you don't have underscore, or you have no separation. The only separation you have between words is the capital letter, capital letter, capital letter, capital letter. This is my custom name. Okay? We call that proper case. And so you can see here, base 64 decode, compute model, convert from FileMaker path, right? Convert to, you see here, crypt auth code, right? Crypt generate signature. Okay, so you got the point here. So that is the name of the function. We use what we call a proper case. And then, actually, it's good. Thank you for the question because I was going there. And then, for the statements, model name, name1, value, statements, data, algorithm, private errors. Okay. For all of those statements, field separator, row separator, we use what we call the camel case. The camel case. Name for statements. The first is not a capital letter, but for separation, I'm using. Okay, that's what we call that camel. You know what, camel with the back of the camel. That's what we call the camel. Pom pom. Okay, you have one big uppercase. But the first is not a capital. Look, field separator, row separator, SQL query. It is, but the name of the function is starting with a capital. And you have a proper case. Camel case, proper case. Okay? This is the answer of this is a tradition. It's a tradition. It's coming from the time where a computer couldn't, read well their spaces and stuff like that. Okay. So why we use this is because you can double click and select, you can here if you want to double click, you can't. Triple click, you have so you need to do this. That's why it's not practical. This is not practical. I have done that on purpose because I wanted to show you that you can do and put whatever you want here. Okay? Whatever you want here. There's no restriction. Okay? This doesn't work. This he will say no. Characters, all the what we call in FileMaker reserved characters, what's the name? Quotes and slashes and stuff like this, right? You have reserved characters that you cannot use. But anyway, you can put the name you want. Personally, I'm applying a very strict practice because I found it useful. And today, tomorrow is okay. Next week, I used the camel as the tradition. Okay. First name, so that will be first name. Last name will be last name. And that is something that helped me to tell you that if you rename something here, now it will say it doesn't understand this because it's no longer here. So you need to make sure that if you rename something like that, you need to make sure you rename here too. Right? And you can see first name, last name is readable, well readable. Okay. And now I can double click. Okay. So let's say I want to give an indication like next week, right? So I want to use something like I don't know. Let's say I have two cities. Let's say I want city 1 equal, right? Whatever. And I have city 2. I'm using underscore. Why underscore? Because when you double click, you select all. Double click. But because if you do this, it's not as readable. So I like to use underscore when I use a number, right? A number. But for names, for letters, I like if I say, for example, home city or work city, I'm doing this, right? Home city, work city. But I'm not doing this, right? It doesn't look good. It doesn't. And don't forget that you're going to have calculation with other characters like this, right? So you can have things like this and like this, and so you see, it's much more confusing that if you have something like this. Don't forget that you will use those things, right, into a more complex wording. Okay, you understand? It makes more sense like this. So, question so far?
Nope, you just had the one from Ken about in statements. There's kind of an earlier one that got answered, but I'll say it again for like real quick. Any problems? Where was it? Hold on. Any problems with brackets and only one statement?
Yeah. So if I have only one of those, okay. So let's me move this. If I have only one statement here, I don't need the brackets. But if you have more, you need brackets, and the one at the separator, you need to put it after the bracket here, like I did here. The last one doesn't have a separation. The separation is after the bracket, and then you have and then you have your calculation. Okay, so you have the left statement. You have parenthesis. You start with a parenthesis and you end with parenthesis. Then you have the statement block, and then you have the calculation block, right? So I like to present it that way because now you understand better than this. If you have all horizontal, it's unreadable demonstration. So if you do like, let me copy this. Imagine that you have this horizontal. So let's make it. Okay. You understand what I mean? Okay. So you want to read something like this? It's unreadable. This is better. You have your statement, and you can separate if you want. Okay. Today, tomorrow, next week, next year, first name, last name. You can separate your statement, and now, you can read, right? So now, what I want to show you is that it is possible to optimize this and make it even more readable. How? Here, I'm defining today with the get current date. Don't forget that all what you put here will be computed. It is not like the case. Case? Case is you can put multiple cases. If this, then this. If this, then this. It's multiple ifs. Case is the first correct will stop the case. If you have 10 cases and you have the second is true, the first not true, and the second is true, it will stop it. It will stop the case. Here it's not. Here it will compute this. Okay. So you have to be careful because all of this will be computed and it will be evaluated, because that's the terminology FileMaker. It will be evaluated in the order. So I said this once in my statement. I said, the first thing I want to know is what is today. So now, tomorrow is today plus 1. I don't need to re-evaluate another time, get current date. I have it. I have it. Today is doing it for me. So if I call tomorrow here, it will work. Tomorrow we are 21 today. So today is the 21. Tomorrow is the 22. And I said, okay, evaluate today. Today is get current date. Good, thank you. Now, do me a favor. What's tomorrow? Oh, it's today because you just did it. Okay, plus 1. And I can say, after tomorrow, okay, or, after tomorrow. What is after tomorrow? It's tomorrow plus 1. Demonstration. After tomorrow, I call it is the 23rd. And if you change this, see, you say, oh, I want 100 days, right? Or I want, I don't know, 45. So if you change this, right? So now you understand the benefit of this. So now, let's say, so do you have a question? I will sometime ask questions that
I
are
was just
already been
clarifying real quick about something. No, otherwise you got no questions. YouTube and Twitch. If you have questions, type them in.
Okay, so let me go a little bit further now. So now you understand the benefit of this. You are establishing, for example, here, I said next week, get current, no. What next week is today plus 7. What next year is today? See how it starts to be freaking easy to read. So now let me show you something. I want to do something here. I have first name, last name, but I want to build something with this. I want to make sure that, I want to build something out of this. So I want the full name. What the full name? Okay. It's my technique. You remember I have a technique to build this. Let's get rid of it. Let's say I want to build this. I want to make it. What's wrong? Oh, okay. I want to build this, but in a way more elaborate than this. I want to say substitute. So imagine I'm not using the let statements. I'm not using. I'm calling this, right? So look, I'm not using the let statements. I'm doing this. This. Look how this is complicated to read. It's complicated. I have a substitute, a list. I have I have let function, first name. Whoosh, complicated. So how to use let statement to make something readable, understandable, right? Let's get rid of this abomination. Okay. I want a list of names, okay? What it is, I need to do what I want to do. I need 2 steps. First, I need the list of this and this. See, it's easier to read. Then I want to build my first name, my full name. Full name equal substitute of this, this, and this. Look how this is, wow. Now I understand. I have my first name. I'm collecting the first name. I'm collecting the last name. Then I'm building this, with what I'm collecting, I'm building this. And now that I have this, I can take whatever this returns. So why we do this? What? Because I prefer to say everything, I want, I don't need all this. Oh, you don't need. Yeah. I tell you something when you have, because all of this is easy, but look how great it is now to debug your problems. To debug, let me show you why we do this. Okay, first of all, okay, I have the full name like this, right? So now I want something else. I want, right? So I have the list of name 1, and I want the list of name 2, which is the opposite. It's last name, first name. That full name, and now, right? I have two, and I have the full name what? And I have full name 2. See how it starts to be a little bit more complex here, but it's, look. So I have list of name 1 here, list of name 2 here, and then I want this. Okay, you see, everything is readable now. I'm calling, so something I want to tell you. I can call first name, last name 2 billion times in a calculation. In everything after this, I have those 2. Everything after this, I can call it 2 billion times. It won't be reevaluated. It is evaluated once. And then I can call it and record it and record it and record it and record it again and again and again and again. It won't affect one. It won't put a dent in the performance. Okay, it won't put a dent in the performance. So that's why, imagine that you have a calculation and you call over and over and over and over, you call the same fields that is 3 relationship down, right? Here, I evaluate those once. That's it, once. And everything here is free. It's free of charge, like we say. So what is full name 1? This is full name 1. And what's full name 2? This is full name 2. 1, 2. Hunter, Nick. Nick Hunter. So why we do this, okay, is because if you don't have, if I have nothing here, right? I have a space at the end. And if, let's do this, it's better. If I have no here, let's say I'm doing this. I'm doing something like this. At old school, okay? Old school. Let's do old school. Old school, you have this, oops, and this, okay? This is the old school. You have a space here. Oh, I know what you're going to say. Oh, put a trim. Okay. You're making a big abomination out of nothing, right? Okay. So, but because you can have, if I have nothing here and I have something here, is the same, right? You have a space at the end, right? So this is the old school abomination. Okay. So now I have, out of those two, with really simple things, and I have two lists and two. Okay, so all of this is possible using let's statement, right? So I want the full name too here. So let's put Nick Andrew. Okay, right? So you understand what's going on here. I can call function, I can call statement within statements. But of course you understand that if I do this, okay, it won't work. It won't work because it doesn't know. This hasn't been established yet. The list of name 2 is there. So this cannot be before this, right? Because as I said, it is evaluating boom, 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 boom. So you remember at school those problems? We have, you have a half spherical tank and of 2 meters, of I don't know, 20 feet, and you have a faucet with pouring like 2 gallon or 5 gallon of water per minute. How long how long it will take to fill the tank, right? We all did that at school, the mathematical problems like this, and we learned the technique to you put on the table half spherical, boom, 20 feet, boom. You write on the paper, 5 gallon, boom. You put all on the paper. You write everything, and then you can start. Okay, but writing down is, so here is the same thing. I'm writing down. I need the first name first. I need the last name. Then I'm building a list, and then I'm removing from the list. I'm using the Nick Hunter technique to get my name correct, right? So now you understand the power of the let statement. Okay. So now I want to show you how this can be useful for your everyday work. Okay. First of all, this is simple, but you have, the next time, of course, I will come with example more complicated than this. But for example, you say, oh, something wrong happening, and you don't know what it is. Okay, is this correct? Oh yeah, Nick is correct. Is this correct? Oh yeah, Nick Hunter is correct, right? So is this correct? Yeah, it looks right. It looks right. And is this correct? So you can put here. You can copy anything from here. Today, I want today. Yeah, today is there. I want next week. Oh, okay, next week. Well, so you can call any of the statement here and come here, right, and put it there and check if it works, right? Check if it works. And then you can say, oh, well, that's why, you can dissect and put your statement, bam, 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 one. So that's why put as many statements as you want here. The more is the best, because you can read your stuff. You can have a progression of your stuff. You progress, right? You have a progression, and you can easily detect where is the problem. Okay, so it's the next thing. Okay, so I don't see any question, right? So the next thing you can do with the let statement, you can elaborate, right? I call fields here, right? But I can also put something like this. Okay. So put something like this. So I want here, I'm going here. So what can you do? What you do here? Okay. I want to replace 45 by the number. But you see here, it starts to be a little bit more less understandable. I prefer to do this. Number is equal this. And then you can call this, So now it's better. It's better because you have the fields, calculation, and you can group them by what they do in the progression. You remember, this will be evaluated, and then this number here, you can put it here, you can put it plus, and you can do this if you want, right? So you can, for example, 365. This is not sure. This is not the 365 is not sure, right? That is 365. Sometimes it's 368. Okay, it's 364. So how you do that? I don't know. Maybe you have a technique for that, but I have, I have a technique for that. So what technique you do to know how So you do this, your days, okay, your days, okay. What it is? So here you see, you have a statement now. I'm putting my statement. I'm creating a statement, and I'm saying, okay, dates. Okay, dates. So I'm using this. One, right? And the year is the year of today, right? Plus 1. So the 1st January, right? So you have the date. And minus 1. So you have now, you see, you have a calculation here that gives you, what's wrong here? Date 111, year, today plus 1. So when you are in the expression here in the data viewer watch, okay, and something wrong here, it will tell field missing, which is wrong, by the way. The message that it returns is not. But you uncheck and you said evaluate, it will tell you where is the problem here. See, here is the problem. So here it won't say you anything. But if you uncheck this and you say evaluate, it will say, oh, this is wrong because this is missing. It's missing a semicolon here. So now, the year's date doesn't work. Date, what? Year, I don't know why, it doesn't work. Why? Oh, we have another problem here. Oh, plus 1. See, you say evaluate, so now it works. So it's the what's the name? You have the end of the year, right? You have the end of the year, but because you need to know which year it is, right? So you have the year date. Okay, you have the end of year, right? End of year. We just playing here. I'm just playing, okay? And I'm inventing things, right? But to show you how flexible the last statement here. So I have something like, I'm putting the dates of the January 1st of the year of today plus 1. That means 2002. And I'm doing this. So this returns 1/1/2023 minus 1 to make the December 31, 2022, the end of the year, right? The end of this year, right? But now I want the you know, the number of days year. You see how I'm naming things? Number, you know, number of days years, okay, equal. So it's so we have, if you have the end of year, I want the same for the start of year. So I'm just inventing. I'm not making any. You know, it's the same. Is this is the start of year is the date of one one the year you know, year of today, of the year of I am in. So now I have the date. I have my start year, my start of year. I will do it. Start of year, start of year, date, end of year. So I have my two things with the date, right, like this, okay? And now I can calculate here the number of days year equal end of year. Oh, I already have it. End of year minus start of year. So if I call this, boom, 364 this year. See? You understand? It was, so imagine just a minute. You want to do something like that without the statements, without the lets. Do it. Do it. Right? It's something like this. I can show you. It's this. Is this. Right? Oh, that is the calculation. It looks great, right? Right. It looks great. Okay, it's the opposite. It's this minus this. Okay. Oh, this is super readable. In your calc, imagine that you have plenty of stuff here. Sorry to disappoint you, but this, it's simpler. In my opinion, it's simpler. And it was easier to establish the logic. First, I taking care of the start of year. Dates, you know, okay. Taking care of the end of year. Dates, that's the end. And then I'm taking care of counting how many. So I'm doing this, and then I'm using those two. Okay? And then in my calculation, so now I can say, if, look what I can say. If this equal, okay, it's inferior of 365, I want this. I'm making up. Don't make any sense. I know. If not this. Look how this is simple. So if the let's change the get current date. Let's change it by 21 03 21 2021. Okay, let's change it. So see, I want to know, for example, now I want to know how many things I have here. 364, 22. Why is it always 364? Okay, I don't know. Get current date. Oh, because yeah, because I have the -1 here. Yeah, I need, okay, imagine, okay, let's imagine that this, okay, let's imagine, I know, let's imagine that this says, let's imagine that this says 365, okay, so if number, oh, that's why, okay, So if it's inferior of 365, it would have, so now it's full one, is full name two. If this says 364, it changed, right? 5, 4, 5, 4. Okay. So just making up. So look at the calculation here. So let's make this calculation. Let's make this calculation without the let statements. Without the let statement, right? Okay, ready. I'm making the calculation without the let statement. So if this minus this then substitutes of the list. I just want to make sure you understand your pain of the list of the name of the last name. Otherwise, is this. So the let's is the first name. So we reverse this with last, first, and this. So this calculation, super easy to understand. Very easy, understandable. Everybody is understanding this. Versus this. This. It's just me, but question? Yeah, it's minus, yeah, no.
There's kind of a question from Ruben, but it might be a little off topic. I'll read it to you anyway. You can decide whether to answer. I want to save button in between the cancel and monitor buttons. The times I accidentally hit the escape key and lost all of my calculation. Any tips about that?
Yeah, no, there's no tips. If you hit cancel, you lose it. Before we go, you see me playing with those things, right? So this is commenting a calculation, commenting a formula. So let's say you want to comment something. That means you want to, you hear, right? This actually works, okay? But you want to try this, for example. You want to try this, but the two together, it will say, oh, that's a problem here because it's a syntax error, right? Yeah, but I don't want this. You can comment this. Oh, this now is working. Let's say you want to see the next year, for example. So you put next year, but you don't want, you want to. So now you comment this. So that commenting means ignored completely. So if you comment everything, so 2 backslash, okay, or slash, 2 slashes. So let's say you want to reestablish this guy. Pam, pam, pam. Comment, back. You want to reestablish this guy, pam, pam. So you can debug, or you can have multiple variation of the same calc, and then you can activate, deactivate, and to do your debug stuff. And you can do what I've done so far. Let's say you say, oh, look, I don't have the time to analyze if this is working or not. This, I just want to, for my test, I want to forget about this, and I want to put 354 instead. And then this stays, but it is ignored, right? And this works because this still valid. Is this that I'm calling? I can change this as I want. So now you understand the power of let statements. Normally, you should understand it, right? And we are not done with the power of it, right? It's we have a lot of much more but the key that unlock you here, it's the presentation, how this is presented, vertical, because FileMaker will evaluate this first, then this, then this, then this, then this, then this, then this, etc., 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 etc. Okay, and you understand now why we love it, why we love this, because I show you how the calculation will have looked like without the let statements. And now look how this simple to read. If the number of days year inferior 365, then I want the full name 1. Otherwise, I want the full name 2, right? It's understandable, right? So if we don't have any question, it's 407. So we can.
There's kind of like a discussion about Labo 404 says, I don't see how you replace a case with a let.
Can you repeat, please?
Yeah, I don't see how you replace a case with a let.
I'm not saying I'm replacing a case with a let. I was saying it's not replacing a case with a let. I'm saying I was making the difference between a case statement, which is the case will evaluate from the top to the bottom, but it will stop at the first true. Here, it will evaluate all of those. That's all what I was saying. I'm not saying I'm replacing a case. I can use a case here. Can use case.
Apparently, it's like more of a general question. Could you replace a case with a let? Or
no, it's like replacing a date with a time. It's no. I'm not replacing. Okay, so, sorry for the confusion if I made one, but I was just saying that a case statement will evaluate, the first will, and the first that's true will stop the evaluation. If you have 10, okay, I'm not replacing a case by the let. It's not this. It's just that let works differently. Let will do this first, then this, but it won't stop. It won't stop doing it. It will do all of this. Okay, a case, no. So forget the case. It's two things different. It's like, oh, can I replace first name by last name? No, you cannot replace a let by case or case by let. You use a case in the let. You use a let in the case, but you cannot replace one by another. It's like replacing apple with a pineapple. It's not possible. So it's just the comparison I was doing is this, that they all evaluate stuff. They all evaluate stuff, but the case will stop when the first is met. When the first, if you have 10 case and you have the case number 3, the one not true, second not true, and the third is true, but it will stop, and the other 7 behind will be forgotten. Here, I'm saying that the let statement will evaluate all of the statements, whether or not they're true or not. Okay, so that's what I want to say. So that's
okay,
it.
I think we're good then.
Yes, it was just a comparison to how it was a behavior comparison. It wasn't a replacement comparison. It's we cannot replace case by let, no, or let by case, no. They're two different things. They don't do the same thing. Let here you just put together, you put things, and then you're going to reuse all what you establish here in this. And this can be a case, by the way. Okay. Right? So I use a if here, but it can be a case, can be a whatever. And you can even have a let within the let. Okay, I'm not going that far, but it's possible. And but I hope you understand let now, and I hope because you understand now that without let, that's impossible. It's impossible to go far. Otherwise, you have an abomination of calculations.
Can you put a let statement inside of a case?
Yeah, of course. It will be awkward to do that, but it's possible. You can put a case in the let statement. Yes, you can say here, you can say case, right? You can say here, you can say case, and blah, 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 blah. You can do it, right? You can put a case in the statement in let. You can put, you can put a case here, like I said, in the calculation. You can here this, I put calculation here. You see, I put the substitute and so. So you have mini calcs. You have mini calcs here within a statement, and then you reuse this. Then you don't need to recalculate that all the time. If I do this like this, if I do a list and I do this, this, this will be evaluated once here. That's it. It will be evaluated where it is here. It will be evaluated once, but it won't be evaluated each time. So it's a performance benefits. It's a performance benefits to do this.
Okay. Yeah. There you go. I hope that answers all your guys' questions. Thank you very much, Nick. Look forward to continuing this tomorrow.
Yeah. So tomorrow. Yeah. So tomorrow we go. Is tomorrow? Is it tomorrow the follow up on this?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Tomorrow we are going to see a little bit more in practice. Okay. Real world practice. I have billions of examples, and but I have an example very useful is when you need to use a progression logic, tick like this, right? So when you need this and then this and then this and then this to get at the point, right? So because most of the time the calculation we have, it's a progression of a logic. You cherry pick what you need, tick. Then you analyze a piece of it, and then you analyze another piece of it, and then the two pieces you have, you put that in one. So when you want to do something like this, you use the let statement to help you. So I'm going to keep this for tomorrow, and that's it.
Okay.
See you tomorrow?
Yep. See you tomorrow, Nick. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Thank you, everyone.
Got a report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir.